Hey, Read Through the Word. Today is October 27th, and today's lesson is called Thy Kingdom Come. I am using today's verse from our reading as Luke chapter 21, verses 31 through 33. So, hold on. 31 through 33. It says this. In the same way, when you see all these things taking place, you know that the kingdom of God is near. I tell you the truth, this generation will not pass from the scene until all these things have taken place. Heaven and earth will disappear, but my words will never disappear. Okay, here we are. We are still Holy Week, still on Tuesday. This is the very last thing that happens on Tuesday. And it says that as Jesus and his disciples are leaving the temple grounds, they start looking at the building as they're walking off the temple and talk about the building. And then Jesus has all of these teachings that happen right here. So this is still Holy Week and Tuesday. So Tuesday's the day when all of this happens. So Jesus speaks of the future with them. He tells of the future, makes references of a coming judgment on all of those people he's just been talking to. Remember all the teaching inside the temple? There's a coming judgment on that generation of Jewish leadership, which is fulfilled when Rome destroys Jerusalem. So that's under the Emperor Titus. And that happens in 70 AD. So we're around 33 AD right here. So 70. So what he's saying, this generation is not going to pass away until this happens. So you have that coming. So the future of things there. You also have, that Jesus is speaking of the end of the age, the end of time, end of what we call the end of the church age, and then, of his second coming. So there is a lot in here. I want us to pay attention to a few things, which whenever I talk prophecy with you, I always remind you of what my pastor has said, that don't miss the forest for the trees. When it comes to end times, and when you're looking at these prophecies and what Jesus is teaching and everything, we can get into so nitpicky where we want to disagree with everybody on everything. And that's when you miss the forest for the trees. And we think our view, our eschatology is correct and someone else is wrong. Here's the thing. Remember, I've told you, my pastor says this every time he does prophecy, and I love it that he says, don't miss the forest for the trees and be humble. Remember humility in this thing. We do not know. I'm about to tell you what we do know today. So, there are prophecies here, and they are easily misunderstood because Jesus has told us things in a certain way for a certain purpose. What we do know, first thing, is he lists a lot of natural things that will happen and a lot of societal things that will happen. And every age, the age that Jesus was speaking to at the time always thought they were returning, that Jesus would return in their time. That is one of the reasons that Paul writes the letters to the Thessalonians, is because they were so, they stopped doing anything because they thought Jesus was going to come back right then. He's like, you can't just stop life. We don't know just the exact day or the exact hour. We don't know that. But what we do know is that we will so every age has thought, this is it, this is it, this is it. I have, the older I've gotten, and I would say especially in the past couple of years, has been probably daily, if I am not praying for the Lord to come back, to find me faithful in what he's called me to do, to help me to spread the gospel to anyone I come in contact with, And so that I know that I have done what he has asked me to do in my time he's put me in, and that I am ready for him to return. Because boy, am I ready. I am so ready. So we do know that it will be uninterrupted. So everybody's thought we're the ones. How do you know when it's because it's not going to stop. It's one thing after another, after another, after another, after another. A lot of what we think are signs of end times, and that are because we have internet and 24-hour news and all information available to us in our hands at all times. So a lot of what we think are natural, like tornadoes and earthquakes and all that kind of stuff, it's just we know more about them now. We didn't know before. They've always been what they are when you look at weather and stuff. So, but it will be one thing after another, which is what Jesus says. They will not stop. It will be constant. It will be constant. So that's one thing. But so it can get a little confusing. So how do we not miss the forest for the trees? We go with what Jesus has made clear. First, it is clear Jesus is coming again. Now, people make the argument. Now, this is when you can get into eschatology, whether you're amillennial or post-millennial and all premillennial, everything. So, some make the argument that Jesus has come again through the church. And no, this means that he will physically return. He is coming for all to see, all eyes to see, even those that don't believe and those who have not accepted him by faith. He will come. Every eye will see. That is very clear. Every eye will see. It will not be missed. Everyone will see it. Okay? So that is clear. Number 2, it is clear. Jesus insisted it will be at a time that no one on earth knows and no one can accurately predict. This is an I think. I try not to do a lot of I think things. This is why I teach the way I do. I don't want to step into things that aren't biblical. But I think this is why we get so wrapped up. We want to be the one that figures everything out, that knows more than anybody else that Jesus is coming back and when he's coming and everything. So there is in my area, and there are quite a few of you who I'm coming to find out actually live in the same town I do, right outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, and live in my town. So y'all might have passed by this. There's a anyway, if you're driving out 601 in my town, 601 north, not south, there's a man with a big, huge sign that gives the date that Jesus is coming back. He's changed it quite a bit. I mean, he gives a year, and I mean and he gives dates, and it's a huge sign, and he changes it because no one can accurately predict. No one knows. No one knows that, and no one can accurately predict. There will be signs and there will be hints that will come, but no real indicators. I think one of the signs that we are getting closer that we see is many of you know that my husband's in law enforcement, and which is not something I talk about a lot, but he has commented to me the amount of violence lately that he is seeing, and he said it is ramping up big time. And that is one of the things about fights and all of those things. So there will be hints and there will be indicators that we are getting closer. And, you know, one of the things is that evil will increase. So we will continue to see that happen. So there are signs and indicators that the closer we get, that you'll see those things. But there's no way any of us can say, oh, well, on this day, at this time, Jesus will return. Because it will quickly get us off mission. Our mission is not to count down. Our mission is to go tell and to have everyone prepared. And I think Even if we did, I mean, Jesus says, even if we did know the hour, no one would believe us. Look at Noah, Noah in the ark, no one believed. So the same idea. And so it is clear. So 3 things that we have that are clear. First, we talked about it's clear Jesus is coming again. Number 2, it's clear he insisted it's a time that no one on earth knows and no one can accurately predict. Number 3, the purpose, why he's coming back. It is clear. Jesus is coming to rule. Now, his kingdom is here. It is mostly invisible. That does not mean it is pretend. It is real. But the church, meaning those who are the body of Christ, those who are the outpost, kingdom outpost is what I call it. At some point, I'm writing that Bible study. I'm going to call it Kingdom Outpost, of who we are and what we're supposed to be doing here. But the kingdom outpost is the church, is the kingdom. We're the ambassadors. We are the embassy for the kingdom. We're here. So we see part of it, but we don't see the full kingdom. But that doesn't mean it's not real. It is real. In the end, here's the thing. In the end, only the kingdom will remain. Everything else will fall away. He is coming to rule. He tells his disciples as he's heading out, knowing he's one day closer to the crucifixion. He tells them he's going to come back again, and the kingdom is coming, and he's coming to rule this time. He's coming, we will see him. He's coming to rule. And what we need to remember is that this is the story of the Bible. It is what is the consummation of the story. God does not leave his story unfinished. This is how it's going to end. This part. Then we go into eternity together. But this is how the story of redemption. Jesus is coming. He is coming real for every eye to see and every knee to bow, because his kingdom will stand. And I pray every day, Lord, may you find me alert and ready and actively waiting, actively anticipating and praying every day, Lord, thy kingdom come. And we'll see you next time on Read Through the Word.